is racist. That's the hashtag that's trending on Twitter since audio of remarks made by the 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful, the former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, surfaced earlier this week. In the clip from the 2015 Aspen Institute, Bloomberg is heard defending the New York City Police Department's controversial stop and frisk policies, saying, quote, 95% of murdered victims fit one MO. You can just take the description, Xerox it, pass it out to all the cops. Listen closely.
95% of your murders and murderers and murder victims fit one MO. You can just take the description, Xerox it, and pass it out to all the cops. They are male, minorities, 15 to 25. That's true in New York, it's true in virtually every city.
That's Mike Bloomberg saying, quote, they are male, minority, 16 to 25. That's true in New York. That's true in virtually every city. He went on to say, quote, and the way you get the guns out of the kids' hands is to throw them up against the walls and frisk them. Bloomberg issued a statement Tuesday saying, quote, I inherited the police practice of stop and frisk, and as part of our effort to stop gun violence, it was overused. By the time I left office, I cut it back by 95%, but I should have done it faster and sooner. I regret that, and I have apologized. Unquote. But Bloomberg did not just inherit stop and frisk. During his tenure as mayor, the use of the practice increased sevenfold. During his time in office, the New York police recorded over 5 million stop and frisks. The vast majority of those stops were Black and Latino. As mayor of New York, Bloomberg long defended stop and frisk. This is Bloomberg speaking during a 2013 interview on WOR radio.
They just keep saying, oh, it's a disproportionate percentage of a particular ethnic group. That may be, but it's not a disproportionate percentage of those who witnesses and victims describe as committing the murder. In that case, incidentally, I think we disproportionately stop whites too much and minorities too little.
In fact, thousands of people marched against stop and frisk during his 3 terms in office. Bloomberg defended stop and frisk as recently as 2019, only apologizing for the practice publicly in November, shortly after entering the presidential race. Well, for more, we're going to Atlanta, Georgia, where we're joined by Benjamin Dixon, the host of the Benjamin Dixon Show and podcast. He unearthed and publicized the 2015 audio of Michael Bloomberg speaking at the Aspen Institute that we just played for you. Dixon is the co-founder of the NorthStar.com, the revitalized abolitionist newspaper of Frederick Douglass. It's great to have you with us. Benjamin Dixon, talk about, I mean, it's very clear that the Bloomberg campaign knew that this was going to drop. They knew there was this recording, however muffled, of his statements at the Aspen Institute from 2015, and they were ready with a statement. Talk about why you released this, how you found it, and what Bloomberg has said in response.
Yes, thanks for having me, Amy. It was online. It was hiding in plain sight. I read several articles about this speech, and what drew my attention to it was the fact that they were looking, that Bloomberg's team actually requested that the video from the Aspen Institute not be released. The Aspen Institute acquiesced. They did not release the video, but I was hoping to be able to find at least an audio clip, and that's exactly what I found. It had been online for 5 years. I was able to isolate it, cut it up, and make it a little more audible. And I felt that it just carried a significant impact that the words in the article did not. I felt like people needed to hear his voice say these things.
And on Tuesday morning, President Trump tweeted, wow, Bloomberg is a total racist. This was in response to the video, the audio you released. Wow, Bloomberg is a total racist. Trump later deleted the post. Interestingly, while campaigning for president in 2016, Trump called for stop and frisk to be instituted nationwide.
Right. Yeah, the level of hypocrisy that comes from the president isn't surprising, but that exemplifies the weakness that candidates like Michael Bloomberg will have against Donald Trump. His audience has no problem with the fact that he is a racist, but he will call someone else a racist. Michael Bloomberg has put himself in a position where he has a long-standing history of problems in New York City, particularly with stop and frisk. And so the president will stand on the debate stage and call him a racist when the rest of America knows that he's the white supremacist in chief.